pimples, 0. Blackheads, 0. Number of battles Alexander the Great lost, 0. Number of seconds his empire stayed whole after his death, 0. France has paratroopers. Vespa, how about a parachute-able bazooka scooter? America chops off piece of Mexico and claims it. America continues to find Mexicans in this area. America for the next 180 years. When it is your 18th birthday in the early 60s and you see the mailman put a letter in your mailbox. Latin American citizens, why is our military suddenly getting better equipment? CIA. It's a surprise tool that will help us later. If you want to cry, I'll give you something to cry about. NASA's budget after the Apollo mission. Hungarians watching Soviet tanks cruising through the streets in 1944. Hungarians watching Soviet tanks cruising through the streets in 1956. You know something's about to go down when the main character's eyes disappear. That face when somebody says, the war of northern aggression. Evacuating citizens of the Marshall Islands whilst you drop hydrogen bombs there. Telling them they will be fine, so you can conduct tests on how radiation affects human bodies, USA. Literally anything happens. Ireland. Britain. USSR. LMAO, look at those stupid Martians getting their asses kicked by Vietnamese rice farmers. So much for a superpower. Also USSR. Polish Soviet War, Winter War, Soviet-Afghan War. But your majesty, Tyre is an island, we cannot besiege it. Alex the Builder. When the media finds out Ted Bundy played Mario on an arcade cabinet. Oh yeah, it's all coming together. A true soldier fights not because he hates what is in front of him, but because some Austrian guy couldn't get into art school. Writing a well-researched history article. Spending 5 minutes on Wikipedia, then writing a top 10 things you didn't know article with 9 things everyone knows and 1 thing that is wrong. Trotsky, look out. Oh god, oh fuck, he has his AirPods in. Incan kid, can we have written records? Mom, we have written records at home. Written records at home. Vikings in Norwegian history books. Vikings in English history books. What city's history should we reenact? London, Paris, why not Prague? America was founded on land stolen from its original inhabitants. Literally every other nation in history. Germany loses World War I. Also Germany, restart. John F. Kennedy gets assassinated. Daughter of Robert F. Kennedy, who was also assassinated, mysteriously dies. The rest of the Kennedys. Me wins the lottery. The classmates I had in kindergarten. A true soldier fights not because he hates what is in front of him, but because emus are eating too much corn. Nothing gets through this armor. The Persians used cats as shields to successfully invade Egyptians who considered cats to be godlike. Injured Germans on D-Day, aren't you gonna call your medic? American paratrooper, chambers around. Evil laughter. China is communist. Their ancestors who invented the banknote. Shame. A random French peasant in 1793. I think we should stop with all of this nonsense. The Jacobins. I diagnose you with guillotine. A true soldier fights not because he hates what is in front of him, but because the Treaty of Versailles destroyed his country. Bob Semple when he turned tractors into tanks. Upgrades people, upgrades. Billy, what have you done? I wish USSR had conquered Finland in the Winter War. Shoot him again. Good, I need someone to lead the French army against England. Boys, no way, France is outnumbered and losing. Girls. Am I out of touch? No, it's the commas who are wrong. Western Empire, Eastern Empire. This is getting outland. Now there are 2 of them. Romans reading about their own history. I used to rule the world. Don't get me wrong. What Corey did last year was amazing, but there is no way he pulls it off in against cop and defenses in 200 CE. The game was just way more physical. The CIA, after buying Soviet Union titanium to build the SR-71 Blackbird so they could intimidate the Soviets. Laughter, you dumb bitch. American public, Trump is the most racist person ever. Andrew Jackson, I'm a joke to you. East German girl in 1949, I'm saving MILF for marriage. Soviet Union soldier, no. So how do we win the war? MacArthur, about 50 nukes. I'm sorry, what? MacArthur, did I stutter? When you're chilling in Nagasaki and suddenly you see two suns. This is called communist China because it is market capitalist in nature. I don't understand that either. When someone asks why the German Empire was your favorite Great War power, I just think they are neat. Making good tanks and winning the war. Making good tanks and losing the war. Making so many crap tanks you win the war. Not being able to afford tanks, so you use skis instead. America, can we have Texas? Mexico, no. Cowabunga it is. Ah yes. Enslave Chernobyl. A true soldier fights not because he hates what is in front of him, but because the government drafted him. Getting shot in game. Getting shot in a cutscene. Officer, no we can't have a bear. Polish army, gets a bear. Officer and bear after a week. Hitler when the 6 people sent to kill him failed. Fine, I'll do it myself. Name one character who could beat Captain America. Historians. Slavery exists. The United States. Soviet Union, it's just a fire. There is no radiation. Chernobyl employees. Stalin, I need someone to ambush the Germans with this outdated farm plane. Boys, no way I'm flying that thing. I'll get shot down. Girls. India, we have a population of over 1 billion people. America, we are the strongest nation on earth. Great Britain, I used to rule the world. No war for a few years. Europeans. Father, I create violence. I fought the Nazis for 46 days. I fought them for 4 days. I fought them for 12 hours. You guys fought the Nazis? The Japanese. A white flag. China, if you bring any more opium you better bring an army with it, cause we are fucking done. England, brings opium and an army. China. A true soldier fights not because he hates what is in front of him, but because some jackasses from a neighboring state stole the town bucket. Plato, after winning arguments against his fictional characters. Everyone is stupid except me. Naming your military operations nonsense, so the enemy can't get any tips. Naming your military operations after former great leaders. Naming your military operations after myths and legends related to the operation. Naming your military operations Operation Undeniable Victory. Even though it's been over 45 years, Bert still cannot help but instinctively look up in the trees for snipers. I've cracked the Enigma code. British Gov. Why are you gay? People blame violence on video games. Romans who watched gladiator battles. The nobility of literally every nation. Calvary is good the way it is. Sweden in the 1700s. Moose time. A true soldier fights not because he hates what is in front of him, but because Charles II of Spain died without an heir. Maybe we should stop the war with Vietnam. Commie. I love cooking foods from a variety of cultures and time periods. Today I cooked an Irish dish from 1845, a North Korean dish from 1994, an Ethiopian dish from 1983, a Ukrainian dish from 1932, an Indian dish from 1943, and a Chinese from 1936. Arabs, what are you going to do with this land? Europe, the future is real, old man. Nazi scientists, so before we fled Germany, we were designing these big bombs that can blow up a whole city. You interested? US. That's outrageous. Done. UK troops, oh my fucking god, don't think we have enough boats to evacuate all of us from Dunkirk. French troops, you guys are getting evacuated. Everybody, ancient Egyptians, I serve the sun. I prefer the real Confederate flag. I said the real Confederate flag. Perfection. National parks don't exist. Teddy Roosevelt upgrades people, upgrades. FDR giving his speech to Congress after the Pearl Harbor bombing. Anyone who doesn't want to go to war is gay. Dr. Gatling, the Gatling gun I just made, is so good at mowing down troops, it will prevent war. Almost all westernized armies eager to test it out on each other. Me introducing my Vietnamese friend. By the way, this is a friend of mine tree. Hitler, when realizing his army failed him and the Allies have surrounded Berlin, I've just humiliated myself and will now commit suicide. Polish citizens, whenever a major war starts, we're all gonna die. When everybody is talking about bulk slavery, but the whitest race in Europe is named after Latin word of slave. Ironic. German soldier in 1916, when he sees a tank for the first time. What in the hot crispy Kentucky fried fuck? Just one more episode. Just one more page. Just one more piece. Just one more natural boundary. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already.